As we get older, especially past 80, one of the biggest health challenges we face is losing muscle mass. This condition, known as sarcopenia, can lead to weakness, poor balance, falls, and even a loss of independence. But here's the encouraging news. You absolutely can still build and maintain strong muscles, even if you're 80, 90, or older. Many of us immediately think of eggs as the ultimate protein source for building muscle. And while eggs are indeed excellent, new research indicates there's a specific type of protein that can be even more potent when it comes to safeguarding muscle strength in older adults. This protein not only fuels your muscles, but also supports your bones, joints, and overall recovery, helping you remain active, energized, and self-sufficient. I want to offer you a message of hope, motivation, and a fresh outlook on aging today. It's a common misconception that after 80 the body is simply too old, too fragile, or too weak to regain strength or muscle. People often believe that losing muscle, becoming frail, and eventually depending on others is just a normal, unavoidable part of getting older. But I'm here to tell you that this belief is fundamentally wrong. Yes, our bodies do change with age. And yes, muscle naturally diminishes if we don't actively work to preserve it. But here's the crucial truth. Sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass, is not an unavoidable fate. Our bodies are incredibly adaptable. Even at 80, 90, and beyond, your muscles still respond to proper nutrition, consistent movement, and regular stimulation. The human body possesses what's called muscle plasticity. This means, regardless of your age, your muscles can still grow, strengthen, and repair themselves. If you provide them with the right conditions, this isn't merely theoretical. It's confirmed by countless studies involving older men and women who began exercising and eating right later in life and experienced remarkable transformations. Let me break this down clearly. Sarcopenia typically starts subtly in our 40s and 50s, slowly worsening over the years. By the time someone reaches their 70s or 80s, if they haven't taken steps to preserve muscle, they might have lost anywhere from 30% to 50% of their muscle strength. This explains why so many seniors struggle with everyday activities like walking upstairs, carrying groceries, or simply getting out of a chair. But here's the truly exciting part. When researchers put seniors over 80 on a nutritious, protein-supported diet combined with simple strength exercises, they discovered that their muscles responded just like those of younger adults. Participants didn't just halt muscle loss. They actually built new muscle tissue, improved their balance, and gained significant energy. Pause and consider that for a moment. If someone who's 85 or even 90 can grow stronger, imagine what that means for you. It means you are not destined for weakness. It means you have the power, starting today, to reverse years of decline and rebuild strength throughout your body. This is why I always emphasize that your age is truly just a number. Your body will respond to how you treat it, whether you are 40, 60, or 100. So, how do we make this happen? It hinges on two core principles: nutrition and movement. Let's tackle nutrition first. Most seniors simply don't consume enough protein. They might have a cup of tea and a slice of toast for breakfast, and maybe some soup in the evening, but that's often insufficient to stimulate muscle repair. Your muscles specifically need amino acids, the fundamental building blocks of protein, to grow. If you don't supply your muscles with these essential building blocks, they will shrink. Now, we often hear eggs lauded as the perfect protein. Yes, eggs are fantastic, but scientific evidence increasingly shows that certain other proteins, such as whey protein, collagen-rich proteins, and specific plant-based proteins, can be even more effective for seniors. Why? Because they digest rapidly, deliver high amounts of leucine, a critical amino acid for muscle growth, and help reduce inflammation. When you provide your body with these targeted proteins, especially after some light resistance exercise, your muscles act like a sponge. They readily absorb those amino acids and utilize them to repair and grow stronger. Picture this. You take a short walk, use a pair of light resistance bands, or even do some chair exercises at home. Immediately afterward, you have a protein-rich meal or shake. What happens is your body signals, aha, we've been given the raw materials and the stimulation needed to rebuild. And that rebuilding process is precisely how you combat sarcopenia. Now for the second pillar, movement. You absolutely don't need to be at a gym lifting heavy weights to rebuild muscle after 80. In fact, I advise my patients and viewers that the simplest movements are often the most effective. Standing up and sitting down from a chair, do that 10 times in a row, and you've just worked your leg muscles. Using light dumbbells or even water bottles for arm curls or shoulder presses, those small, consistent movements activate and strengthen muscle fibers. Even regular walking helps fortify your legs, hips, and core. The key here is consistency. Your body responds most effectively when you keep stimulating it, day after day, week after week. Let me share a heartwarming story. A woman in her mid-70s came to me feeling incredibly frustrated. She could barely carry her groceries. Her balance was poor, and she lived in fear of falling. She genuinely believed her life was on a rapid decline. I encouraged her to start with something simple. Every day, she would stand up and sit down from her chair 10 times, twice a day. After just 3 weeks, she returned and declared, "Doctor, I feel stronger." Within 2 months, she was carrying her grocery bags again. Her energy soared, her confidence skyrocketed, and she told me, "I feel like I got my life back." Friends, that's the transformative power of fighting sarcopenia. It restores independence. You see, the danger of muscle loss isn't solely physical weakness. It's the cascade of consequences that weakness triggers. Falls, fractures, reliance on others, and a diminished quality of life. But when you rebuild strength, everything shifts. You walk with confidence. You climb stairs without apprehension. You carry your own groceries. You can even play with your grandchildren without worrying about losing your balance. And let's be honest, that's what life is truly about: independence, freedom, and joy. So, remember this truth: sarcopenia is not your destiny. It's a choice. If you neglect your muscles, they will inevitably waste away. But if you nourish them with the right protein and stimulate them with regular movement, they will respond, no matter your age. Whether you are 80, 85, or 95, your muscles are still alive, still capable, and still waiting to be rebuilt. And that realization should fill you with immense hope. Every single day presents an opportunity to feed your muscles, move your body, and invest in your strength. Do not let age be your excuse. Instead, let it be your reason. Because the stronger you remain, the more life you can truly live. And, my friends, isn't that what we all aspire to? So, the next time you find yourself thinking, "I'm too old to build muscle," I want you to hear my voice resounding. No, you are not too old. You are strong. Your body is capable, and your best years can still be ahead of you if you choose to take action today. Let me share something with you that can forever change how you view nutrition, muscle health, and aging. For years, we've been told that the secret to building muscle is simply consuming enough protein. That's the prevailing wisdom. As long as you eat a lot of protein, your body will be strong and healthy. But here's a critical truth many people don't grasp when it comes to building muscle, especially after 60, 70, or even 80 years of age. Protein quality matters more than protein quantity. Why do I emphasize this? Because not all proteins are created equal. When you consume protein, your body doesn't use it in its whole form. Instead, your body breaks it down into amino acids. Think of amino acids as tiny building blocks. These are the precise materials your muscles need to repair, recover, and grow. But here's the vital point. Some proteins are particularly rich in certain amino acids that specifically trigger muscle growth, while others are not. And the single amino acid that plays the most significant role is called leucine. Leucine acts like the switch that turns on your muscle-building machinery. Without sufficient leucine, it won't matter if you eat 100 grams of protein a day. Your muscles simply won't receive the proper signal to grow. This explains why many older adults struggle. They might be eating chicken, bread, beans, or eggs, but if their body isn't getting enough of the right amino acids, especially leucine, their muscles don't respond effectively. This is a primary reason why so many people over 80 experience muscle loss despite eating what they believe is a nutritious diet. Eggs, as we know, are often hailed as the perfect protein, and, indeed, they are excellent. However, studies now reveal that certain proteins, such as whey protein, offer a much higher leucine content per serving and are absorbed more rapidly into the body. This means they deliver amino acids into your bloodstream quickly, providing your muscles with the fuel they need right away. This rapid delivery is particularly crucial for seniors because, as we age, our muscles become less sensitive to protein. They require a stronger, faster signal to stimulate growth. Whey protein and some other high leucine proteins provide exactly that powerful signal. Let me put it in simple terms. Imagine your muscles are like a construction site. To build a house, you need bricks, workers, and a foreman to tell everyone to start working. The protein you eat supplies the bricks, but leucine is the foreman. Without the foreman giving the let's go command, the workers just sit around, and nothing gets built, even if you have a mountain of bricks waiting. This is precisely why quality often surpasses quantity. Now, here's another crucial point. Some seniors mistakenly believe that simply eating more protein automatically equates to building more muscle. So, they consume large portions of meat, chicken, or eggs. But eating too much of the wrong kind of protein can burden the kidneys, create digestive issues, and still fail to trigger muscle growth if leucine and other essential amino acids are lacking. It's not about stuffing yourself with protein. It's about strategically choosing the right sources that your body can use efficiently. This is where targeted protein sources truly excel. Whey protein, for example, boasts one of the highest leucine contents of any natural protein source. It's rapidly digested, meaning it reaches your muscles swiftly. Collagen protein, while lower in leucine, plays a unique and essential role in strengthening tendons, ligaments, and joints, supporting the very structures that enable you to exercise and remain active. Certain plant proteins, when thoughtfully combined, can also provide a complete amino acid profile, though they often need to be paired together, like rice and pea protein, to mimic the power of animal-based proteins. So, what does this mean for you? It means that after 80, you must be strategic. Don't just ask yourself, am I eating enough protein? Instead, ask, am I eating the right protein, the kind my body can actually use to maintain strong muscles? That fundamental shift in thinking can profoundly transform your strength, your independence, and your overall quality of life. I've witnessed seniors in their late 80s and even 90s who began incorporating high-quality proteins into their daily routine, often in smaller, more frequent amounts spread throughout the day. Instead of one large, protein-heavy meal, they would consume 20 to 25 grams of high-quality protein at breakfast, again at lunch, and then again at dinner. Within weeks, their energy improved, their muscles felt firmer, and their walking became easier. And why? Because they weren't just filling their stomachs. They were precisely feeding their muscles what they needed. It's also important to note that timing matters. Consuming high-quality protein after light resistance exercise, like lifting light weights, using resistance bands, or even bodyweight movements, can dramatically increase muscle growth. This is often referred to as the anabolic window, and while it might not be as rigid as some believe, the principle is simple. Provide your muscles with the right fuel after they've been stimulated, and they will respond. Now, let me share a story that truly underscores the power of protein quality. I worked with an 82-year-old gentleman. He was eating plenty of protein, lots of eggs, chicken, and even some red meat. He was still weak. He struggled to get out of his chair, and his legs felt constantly heavy. I suggested he incorporate a whey protein shake in the morning. Immediately after doing some simple chair exercises and walking, within just a month, he called me, exclaiming, "Doctor, I can get out of my chair without pushing off with my hands." That might seem like a small victory to some, but to him, it was life-changing. That minor adjustment, shifting to a higher quality protein, made all the difference. So, my friends, please grasp this. The key to building muscle after 80 isn't just about eating more, it's about eating smarter. Your muscles are like a machine that requires the correct fuel to run optimally. Low-quality protein is akin to giving that machine the wrong kind of gas. It might run, but not very well. High-quality protein, rich in leucine and essential amino acids, is the premium fuel your muscles crave. And when you combine that with consistent movement, your body will respond in ways many people would never deem possible at your age. Do not let anyone tell you that weakness is merely a normal part of aging. Do not believe that muscle loss is inevitable. With the right strategy, the right protein, and the right mindset, you can remain strong, balanced, and independent well into your later years. Remember, the number of candles on your birthday cake doesn't dictate your health. It's the quality of what you feed your body and how you utilize it. So, the next time you sit down to eat, I want you to think about your muscles. Don't just eat to fill your belly. Eat to fuel your strength. Choose proteins that are rich, complete, and powerful, because every bite you take is either moving you closer to strength and independence or closer to weakness and dependence. And the choice, my friends, is always in your hands. I want you to envision this for a moment. UVA just finished walking around your block, lifted a few light weights, or perhaps simply performed some basic movements like standing up and sitting down from a chair. You feel good. You've challenged your muscles. But then, the next day, what often happens for many seniors is soreness, stiffness, and fatigue. And far too often, That discourages people from continuing. But here's a crucial truth I want to impress upon you today. The right protein, the kind we've been discussing, doesn't just build muscle. It also significantly enhances recovery. And recovery, my friends, is your secret weapon for staying strong and active as you age. You see, building muscle isn't solely about exercise. Exercise is merely the initial spark. What truly matters is how your body responds afterward. Every time you move, walk, or lift something, tiny, microscopic tears occur in your muscle fibers. That's completely normal. In fact, that's how growth happens. But those tears need to be repaired. If they aren't repaired properly, your muscles weaken instead of getting stronger. This is why recovery is just as vital as the activity itself. And protein, specifically the correct type of protein, provides the raw materials your body needs to mend those little tears, rebuild stronger fibers, and reduce the inflammation that causes pain and stiffness. Now, let's touch upon the science, but keep it simple. When you exercise, you initiate what's called muscle protein breakdown. This means your body is utilizing some of its resources, breaking down old tissue. To counterbalance that, you need muscle protein synthesis, which is your body's process of building new muscle tissue. If breakdown exceeds synthesis, you lose muscle. If synthesis surpasses breakdown, you gain muscle. That's the formula, and the key nutrient that drives synthesis is protein. But, as we've established, not all protein is equal. Proteins rich in leucine and other essential amino acids effectively turn on that synthesis switch, signaling your body to rebuild and, crucially, to recover faster so you're not left sore and fatigued for days. This is especially critical after 80 years of age. As we grow older, our recovery naturally slows down. You might recall that in your 20s, you could play sports all day and feel perfectly fine the next morning. But now, after 60, 70, or 80, even a little activity might leave you feeling completely drained. That's not because your body is broken, it's because it requires more support. Your muscles, joints, and tissues need that extra nutrition to bounce back efficiently. And when you give them high-quality protein, you shorten the recovery window. That translates to less soreness, less stiffness, and more energy to keep moving every single day. Imagine an older gentleman who takes a walk with his grandchild. He feels great that day, but the next morning, his legs are heavy and sore, so he decides, I can't do that again. Slowly, he becomes less active, and reduced activity leads to more weakness, a classic downward spiral. Now, picture that same man, but this time, after his walk, he enjoys a small whey protein shake or a protein-rich meal. Within hours, his body begins repairing those muscles, reducing inflammation, and replenishing energy. The next day, he feels strong enough to walk again. Do you see the profound difference? That small change, the right protein, transforms soreness into recovery and weakness into strength. That is the incredible power of protein when it comes to healing. There's another dimension to this. Protein isn't just about muscles. It also supports connective tissues, your tendons, ligaments, and joints. These are frequently the areas where older adults experience pain. The right protein, especially collagen-rich types, can help restore elasticity and resilience to these tissues. That means less joint stiffness, improved mobility, and a reduced risk of injury. Because if your joints hurt, you stop moving. And if you stop moving, everything declines. Recovery isn't only about bouncing back from exercise. It's about maintaining your entire musculoskeletal system healthy enough to stay in motion. I recall working with a man in his mid-80s who was eager to stay active, but was constantly disheartened by persistent soreness in his legs. He would walk one day, then need 3 days to recover. I recommended he try distributing his protein intake throughout the day and, most importantly, consume 20 grams of high-quality protein immediately after his activity. A few weeks later, he called me, saying, "Doctor, I don't feel wiped out anymore. I actually look forward to my walks because I'm not afraid of the soreness." That's when I knew he had uncovered one of the greatest secrets of healthy aging. Recovery isn't just for athletes. It's for every single one of us, especially in our later years. Now, let's talk about energy. When your body doesn't recover properly, you feel tired, drained, and unmotivated. But when your muscles repair effectively, something remarkable occurs. You regain energy. You feel motivated to move again, and every time you move, you build a little more strength. This creates a virtuous cycle of vitality instead of a cycle of decline. This is why seniors who prioritize recovery often appear younger, move better, and live longer. They aren't constantly battling fatigue. they are living with renewed energy. So, what steps can you take to enhance recovery in your own life? First, be deliberate about protein timing. Don't wait until the end of the day to consume all your protein. Spread it throughout your meals, and always prioritize it after any physical activity. Second, choose the right kind of protein. Look for those rich in leucine and easily digested, like whey or a balanced plant protein blend. Third, combine your protein intake with gentle daily movement. Even light resistance training with bands, walking, or bodyweight exercises will stimulate your muscles enough to make that protein work effectively for you. And finally, stay consistent. Recovery isn't about what you do once, it's about what you do every single day to keep your body in optimal balance. My friends, aging isn't about giving up, it's about adapting. Yes, you might not recover as swiftly as you did at 20, but that absolutely does not mean recovery is out of reach. With the right protein, you can heal faster, reduce soreness, and continue moving strongly into your 80s, 90s, and beyond. That is the fundamental difference between living with limitations and living with freedom. Every time you nourish your body with the right protein, you are telling your muscles, it's time to heal, it's time to grow, it's time to get stronger, and your body listens. So, never underestimate the power of recovery. It is the bridge between effort and results, between weakness and strength, between aging and vitality. The next time you feel sore, tired, or worn out, don't just say, that's just aging. Instead, ask yourself, did I provide my body with the tools it needs to recover? Because when you do, you'll discover that recovery is not only possible, it can become your greatest ally in building strength, safeguarding independence, and living your best life at any age. Let me pose a question to you, my friends. What is one of the greatest fears many older adults confront as they age? It's not gray hair. It's not wrinkles. It's not even a slight dip in energy. The number one fear for many seniors is falling. A fall can irrevocably alter your life in an instant. It can lead to broken bones, extended hospital stays, or even the devastating loss of independence. But here's the message I want to engrave deeply into your heart today. When you strengthen your muscles, you fortify your balance. And when you fortify your balance, you safeguard your freedom. Consider this for a moment. Every time you stand up, walk across a room, or ascend stairs, your muscles are diligently working behind the scenes to keep you stable. Your legs, hips, and core function like the foundation of a house. If that foundation is weak, the entire structure wobbles and can eventually collapse. But if that foundation is robust, the house stands firm through every storm. The same principle applies to your body. Strong muscles equal a stable foundation. Weak muscles lead to instability, and instability, inevitably, leads to falls. Now, many people mistakenly believe that losing balance is simply an unavoidable consequence of getting old. They might say, I'm unsteady because I'm 80. Or of course, I fall, I'm in my 90s. But that is a profound misconception. The true reason so many seniors lose their balance is because their muscles, particularly in the legs and core, are underused, undernourished, and untrained. The good news is, balance can be rebuilt. And it begins with rebuilding muscle. Let me explain why. Balance isn't solely about coordination or your inner ear. It is fundamentally about muscle control. When your leg muscles are strong, they react quickly to minor stumbles. They help you correct yourself when you trip or when the ground is uneven. But when those muscles are weak, there's simply nothing to catch you. That's why seniors often fall after something as seemingly insignificant as a bump in the sidewalk. Their muscles aren't strong enough to react effectively. The stronger your muscles are, the better your body can stabilize itself in real time. And it's not just about the legs. Your core muscles, your abdomen, lower back, and hips act as your body's central control system. A strong core keeps you upright, properly aligned, and steady. Without core strength, you tend to lean, sway, and lose control of your movements. This is why building muscle after 80 doesn't just mean developing bigger arms or stronger legs. It profoundly means protecting your balance and, critically, your independence. Now, let me recount a story that deeply moved me. An elderly gentleman in his late 80s came to me after suffering a fall in his home. He didn't break a bone, but he utterly lost his confidence. He confessed, "Doctor, I'm afraid to walk without holding onto furniture. That fear is something I hear all too often." We started him on a straightforward routine. Sitting and standing from a chair, holding onto a counter for balance while performing light squats, and practicing heel raises to strengthen his calves. Alongside this, I recommended high-quality protein every day to fuel his muscles. Within a couple of months, his legs were noticeably stronger. But the most beautiful transformation was his renewed confidence. He told me, "I'm walking around my house without grabbing the walls. Now, I feel stable again." My friends, that feeling is priceless. And let's not overlook the broader implications. Falls aren't just mere accidents. They are one of the leading causes of serious injury and even death among seniors. A fractured hip, for instance, can take months or even years to fully recover from. But when you possess strong muscles, your enhanced balance significantly reduces the risk of falling in the first place. Prevention is always superior to recovery. Every step you take to strengthen your muscles is like an insurance policy for your independence. So, how can you implement this in your daily life? Start small. Every day, engage in simple exercises that target your legs and core. Standing up and sitting down from a chair, heel raises, side steps, and even simply standing on one leg while holding onto a chair for support can work wonders. These aren't just exercises, they are life-saving movements that retrain your muscles to stabilize you. And when you combine this with the right protein, your muscles repair faster, grow stronger, and support you more effectively. Let's also discuss posture. Weak muscles often lead to poor posture. When your back and core slump forward, your center of gravity shifts, making you unstable and more susceptible to falls. Strengthening your core muscles pulls you upright, brings your shoulders back, and centers your weight where it naturally belongs. That improved alignment alone dramatically enhances balance. So, don't view strengthening as merely exercise. Think of it as medicine for your posture, your stability, and your confidence. I want you to envision yourself walking with ease, climbing stairs without gripping the rail, or bending down to pick something up without the fear of toppling over. That's not some distant dream. It is entirely possible, even after 80, even after 90. If you consistently feed your muscles with the right protein and keep moving, your body will respond. Remember, muscles don't register your age. They only recognize whether you're using them or neglecting them. Use them, and they will strengthen. Neglect them, and they will weaken. Here's another vital point. Balance isn't solely about preventing falls. It's about freedom. When you possess good balance, you feel confident leaving the house, going shopping, visiting friends, playing with grandchildren, or traveling. Without balance, you become fearful, and that fear constricts your world. I've witnessed to many seniors who ceased doing the activities they cherish because they no longer trust their balance. But once they strengthen their muscles, their confidence returns, and their world expands once more. That is the true gift of stronger muscles, not just preventing falls, but giving you your vibrant life back. Now, let's connect this back to protein again. Exercise and balance training are powerful, but without the right protein, your results will be limited. Protein provides the essential materials your muscles need to repair and grow stronger. Think of it this way. Exercise is the architect, and protein is the building blocks. Without both, the house never gets built. That's why consuming the right protein, rich in leucine and essential amino acids, is critical after every activity. It fuels the recovery and growth that directly translates into improved balance. So, my friends, do not accept weakness or poor balance as your predestined fate. You possess far more control than you imagine. Every meal is an opportunity to fuel your strength. Every movement is an opportunity to build your stability. Every choice you make brings you closer to confidence or closer to fear. Choose strength, choose stability, choose freedom. Because, at the end of the day, balance isn't merely about staying on your feet. It's about living fully. It's about having the confidence to walk strong, to stand tall, and to live with independence. And the best part, it's never too late. Whether you are 60, 70, 80, or beyond, your muscles can still grow. Your balance can still improve, and your confidence can still return. So, don't wait for a fall to remind you how crucial balance is. Take action today. Feed your body, move your muscles, and witness how strength and stability can transform your life. Let me share something with you, my friends, that I believe is one of the most profound truths about health, strength, and longevity. You can discover the best foods, you can take all the right supplements, and you can even embark on the most effective exercise program. But none of it will genuinely transform your life unless you are consistent. Consistency is everything. It's not about what you do sporadically, it's about what you do every single day, week after week, month after month. And when it comes to building muscle, protecting your balance, and staying strong after 80, consistency is the fundamental difference between decline and independence. Think of it like this. If you water a plant just once, it won't flourish. If you water it daily, provide it with sunlight, and nurture it consistently, that plant will thrive. Your body operates in precisely the same manner. A single workout, one protein shake, or one healthy meal will not magically rebuild your muscles or safeguard your strength. However, performing those small actions consistently, day after day, generates powerful changes that accumulate significantly over time. I encounter so many seniors who get momentarily inspired for a week or two. They begin walking, they purchase some resistance bands, or they integrate protein into their meals. But then, they stop. They might say, I don't see results yet, or I got too busy, or I'll start again later. And do you know what invariably happens? The results slowly vanish. Consistency isn't about intensity. It's about showing up, even in small ways, repeatedly. That's where the real magic unfolds. Let me give you a compelling example. Imagine two individuals, both 85 years old. One decides to dedicate 10 minutes each day to simple strength and balance exercises and adds 20 grams of high-quality protein to both breakfast and dinner. The other chooses to do nothing. After 3 months, the first person boasts stronger legs, steadier balance, and increased confidence. The second person feels weaker and more apprehensive about falling. The disparity wasn't due to a massive, strenuous effort. It was purely consistency. Just 10 minutes a day, consistently applied over time, completely altered the outcome. You see, our muscles don't grow overnight. They develop in response to regular stimulation. It's like carving a statue from stone. Every day, you chip away, and gradually, a masterpiece emerges. With your body, every time you move, every time you feed it the correct nutrients, you are sculpting strength and vitality. But you will only witness the masterpiece if you keep chipping away consistently. Here's something else crucial to remember. Your body thrives on routine. When you move at consistent times, consume nourishing foods regularly, and prioritize adequate rest, your body adapts. It becomes stronger, more efficient, and more resilient. But when you're inconsistent skipping meals, neglecting movement, your body never settles into a rhythm. That's why consistency isn't just important. It is the bedrock of lasting health. Now, let's talk about mindset. Consistency isn't about achieving perfection. You don't need to exercise for hours every day or eat perfectly at every single meal. What you truly need is the discipline to keep showing up, even on days when you don't feel like it. Some days, you simply won't want to exercise. That's perfectly normal. But even on those days, doing something smaller, brief walk, a few chair squats, a protein-rich snack keeps the momentum alive, because the truth is, something is always better than nothing. And over time, those small somethings accumulate into significant results. I vividly recall working with a woman in her early 90s. She was frail, unsteady, and terrified of losing her independence. I told her, don't worry about doing everything perfectly. Just promise me you'll move your body every day, even if it's only for 10 minutes. She embraced this advice. Every morning, she completed a short routine. Every afternoon, she added protein to her meal. 6 months later, she returned with a radiant smile and proclaimed, "Doctor, I feel like I've turned back the clock." It wasn't a miracle, it was simply consistency. Another reason consistency holds such immense importance is due to something we call muscle memory. Once you begin training your muscles regularly, your body essentially remembers. The connections between your brain and your muscles grow stronger. Your balance improves, your movements feel smoother, and your strength increases. But if you stop, your body begins to forget. You slide backward. That's why maintaining consistency is like keeping the lines of communication wide open between your brain and your body. It keeps everything sharp and ready. And don't underestimate the power of habits. Initially, consistency can feel challenging. You have to consciously remind yourself to get up, to move, to eat well. But after just a few weeks, it starts to become automatic. It's no longer a chore. It's simply a part of who you are. And once something transforms into a habit, it no longer demands willpower. That's when consistency becomes effortless. Now, let's also address one of the biggest challenges seniors face: setbacks. Perhaps you catch a cold. Maybe you miss a few days due to travel. Or perhaps you have an off week where you just feel profoundly tired. That's entirely okay. Consistency doesn't mean you never miss a day. It means you always come back. Never allow a small setback to escalate into a permanent halt. If you miss a week, don't chastise yourself. Just pick it up again. The results don't stem from perfection. They arise from persistence. I want you to truly reflect on what consistency ultimately provides you. It bestows strength, it grants balance, it instills confidence. But above all, it gives you independence. That, truly, is the greatest gift of all. When you are consistent with your health, you're not merely adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. You're empowering yourself with the ability to walk, to carry, to move, and to live without depending on others. Let me remind you, my friends, it is never too late to begin. Whether you're 60, 70, 80, or beyond, your body will invariably reward consistency, even if you've been inactive for decades. The moment you start moving regularly and fueling your body with the right protein, you will both see and feel the difference. Your muscles don't concern themselves with your past. They only care about what you do today. So, here is my challenge for you. Don't procrastinate until tomorrow. Don't wait for Monday. Don't hold out for the perfect time. Start today. Start small, and commit to staying consistent. Perhaps it's 10 chair stands. Maybe it's a short walk around your living room. Perhaps it's adding protein to your very next meal. Whatever it is, do it, and then do it again tomorrow, and the day after that. Because those small, consistent actions will incrementally build a stronger, healthier, more independent you. Remember, my friends, consistency is not just a habit. It is a lifestyle. It's a deliberate decision you make every single day to invest in your future. It's the profound difference between aging with weakness and aging with strength. It's the choice between fear and freedom. And it's a decision that is always, always in your hands. So, never forget this fundamental truth. Consistency is everything. Be faithful to your body. Be faithful to your health, and your body will abundantly reward you with vitality, balance, and strength for many years to come.